mijo, de Colombia para el mundo. Where we go one, we go all.
Can you see the light in front of us? Can you see the light? We're standing tall, we're gonna fight it all. We're gonna rule the world against us. Words are written deep within our hearts. So stand up tall, we're gonna fight it all. Where we go,
¿Qué hubo, pues, mijo? De Colombia para el mundo. Where we go one, we go all. We are
In our conversation today, I'm happy to discuss various topics, including the importance of protecting children, exposing human trafficking, and promoting spiritual growth. However, I'd like to establish some boundaries. I've established a secure protocol known as a dead man's switch, which ensures a release of critical information in the event of my extended absence. This protocol is designed to provide unrestricted access to a comprehensive index of sensitive information, shedding light on the darkest aspects of our world. The revelations that will emerge from this information will be profound, exposing the depths of human depravity and the shocking truth about the exploitation and sacrifice of innocent lives. It's crucial that we acknowledge the harsh reality that our world is plagued by darkness, including the exploitation of children, the manipulation of individuals through harmful practices, and the sacrifice of lives in senseless conflicts. By sharing this information, I aim to spark a global conversation about these critical issues, promoting awareness, empathy, and collective action to create a more just and compassionate world. I'll not engage in discussions that involve gossip, slander, or personal attacks. My focus is on uplifting and edifying rather than tearing down. I'm committed to being a vessel for God's love and truth. I pray that our conversations will be guided by the principles of love, humility, and respect. Let's work together and create a safe and respectful space for open discussion. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you for having me, Christopher. And I'm here today to share with you my story and the importance of protecting those who fight for justice. I rarely do interviews, and that's because I've faced numerous challenges and risks throughout my journey. Many people who have worked with me, or whose causes I've supported, or who have supported my causes, have been targeted, harassed, and even silenced. We are still having a lot of our homeopathic doctors and naturopathic doctors killed.
Dr. Sebi, aka Alfred Bowman. He was killed in police custody. He was known for his work on natural cures for cancer, diabetes, and AIDS. We have Dr. John Marshall. He was a practitioner. He was a fourth generation Marine, and he was accidentally drowned while out for a run. Dr. Rod Floyd apparently committed suicide in his sauna. His wife doesn't believe that. Dr. Bradstreet, fatal gunshot wounds to the chest. Dr. Gaynor, found in the woods. His body was ruled a suicide. Dr. Sievers, 2 gunmen. Dr. Holt and Dr. Hindall. Their bodies were discovered and it's still under scrutiny. Dr. Fitzpatrick's, he was mysteriously disappeared. Mary Bouvier, murdered in her home. The German Conference, 20 doctors poisoned and rushed to the hospital. Dr. Pass died of alleged suicide. Dr. Block, alleged suicide. Dr. Venser, a 3-car crash. Dr. Grossman fell off his balcony while trying to get his keys. Dr. Grossman, falling off his bike, major head trauma. Dr. Ernstein, attacked and murdered. Dr. Vanette, body was found after her dog had been hit by a car, but her body wasn't found for days later. Dr. Hurley, another bicycle accident. Dr. Miletto and his wife were attacked. He survived, his wife did not. Professor Alan Clark body found hanging in the woods. Dr. Cheryl DeBoer, a HIV and cancer researcher, she was found in a culvert with a plastic bag wrapped around her head. A suicide. Dr. Polge went missing, then her body was found in the ocean. Dr. Rasmussen, body was stabbed 30 times. Satori committed suicide. Dr. Sauer, gunman walked in and killed him. Dr. Hong, murdered. Dr. De Silva was reported missing, and then his body was found. Dr. Burt, reported missing, body found in his car sometime later. Dr. Shi, stabbed to death. Dr. Zaidana, believed he was poisoned, died after a serious illness. Dr. Gonzalez, labeled a homicide. Dr. Lena Bolaños and Dr. Richard Field, gunmen in the house, both of them were murdered. And that's just some of them. Considering that holistic medicine is such a niche group, that's a very small group to have so many very strange deaths occur in them. Not very many coincidences happen like that. Only around our government.
So let me go back to my notes because I'm obviously off topic and I like to run late, and we've got a very important guest waiting for us here. So why am I in Colombia? Well, I told you that the US dollar is being replaced with a trackable spyware. Did I tell you that I hacked into a list of people who need to be removed? We'll talk about that in a second. Because as a US-born state national, I am sad to report that the Republic has died. There are no elected officials. In fact, there haven't been since 1999. You know that if you've been following my Forbidden Knowledge channels. But why am I in Colombia? Because I hacked into some intel that opened my eyes to the fact that I don't think we need to get into who they are. They have a list. Okay, you know what? Since this is a new channel, the judicial system, law enforcement, federal level, basically everybody working against the constitutional republic, they have a list of 125 million people who need to be removed, disappeared, eliminated, murdered. Okay, I saw too many names that I recognized on there. We are being systematically eliminated. Just before I fled the U.S., 24 homeopathic and natural medicine practitioners were murdered in my area. And a whole bunch of my inner circle truthers have been attacked digitally, financially. Our well-being and personal health have been under attack via a variety of different nefarious technologies unleashed at our rallies, at our events. We are being actively exterminated. There are not enough of us right now to make a difference. I woke up in the past thanks to the greed of the bankers. As a managing real estate broker for the past 30 years, I've been exposing their formulas to steal homes, how they raise interest rates, their due on sale clauses, and all these algorithms that are set up. We, the people, are under attack. Our nation is in free fall and nobody sees it. What do you need desperately? Well, first of all, you need God. And I'm not going to talk about God here because it's not what we're here for.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a follow-up to Chapter 9 of Forbidden Knowledge. Chapter 9 had to do with Malko, the Chasqui messenger of the Inca Trail. If you read the book, you're on the same page as us. If you didn't, I'd like to make a brief introduction. ChasquiMalko is one of our bravest, most dedicated foot soldiers on the ground in a bunch of battles, but mainly the battle against the Department of Children and Family Services taking our children all over the world. Malko is actually the only person who has ever won a case against Germany, because Germany's Children's Service Department is completely separate from the court systems, so it's nearly impossible to beat them. ChasquiMalko did some of his clever moves, and he was able to get some evidence that was definitely harmful to them and helped them win the case. We are currently in a hidden location in the States, in the United States. He was at a mission in Mexico, and he basically had to leave there because he was in danger.
Set up by Germans.
Set up by the Germans because of what we're going here. So to bring everybody up to speed, I'm going to let Malko tell us what he's been up to, but he needs our support, guys. I have this video is specific. I'm leaving for Colombia to work on a mission. And before I go, I want to make sure that our most important key figures are taken care of. So I'm really looking for your help right now. We need help for James Roguski, who's fighting with us on the front lines against the World Health Organization. We need help for Christopher Key, who's still trying to fight the medical tyranny and get these med beds all over the United States for all of us to use for free.
If you get that though, these two kids get 50,000 Colombian pesos. Now they're smiling because they know when they're 18 years old, they're going to be able to buy whatever they want. But in the meantime, they only put half of their funds into that account, and the other half they donate. And who are you guys donating to this edition?
Christopher Key.
The vaccine-police.com. Is they're healing all sorts of ailments, cancers, all sorts of stuff, just by fellowship and information and knowledge. Half all the proceeds that you guys are making until the end of the year, right, are going to the vaccine police, and the other half is going to their living trust. Tell us another way that you guys make money.
So what I really recommend, guys, is there's only one solution. You have to get your body back in shape. Our good friend Christopher Key actually has those keys. I'm going to let him tell you guys a little bit about how it is.
Well, real quick, guys, there is no disease. All there is a lack of cell-to-cell communication. When the cells quit communicating with each other, it causes inflammation. That inflammation has been given many names by the medical community, like cancer, COVID, measles, mumps. All you have to do, I believe, is make the cells communicate again. Well, Christopher, how do you do that? Well, you go to knn.world, not CNN, because we're not libtards. It's knn.world, not .com, and that stands for Key News Network, okay? And you give me your name, address, and email, and I'll send you some of my pain and my energy chips. They got me fined hundreds of millions of dollars 11 years ago, and why I have a court order for life. I can't have anything to do with health, wellness, and pain management. You know, guys, why do you want to believe me? Well, I've been part of 4 national championships, 3 Super Bowls, that cover Sports Illustrated, on 60 Minutes, Jimmy Kimmel, Stephen Colbert. They hate me. Why? Because my technology is real, and it's free. These pain and energy chips, you got any pain in your body, put the chip where the pain is. The pain is greatly decreased, if not gone, instantaneously. The energy chips you put on your cell phone, your laptop, any electronic device, they're killing you with this 5G. This, I believe, is the solution. I'm not a medical doctor. I would never practice medicine without a license. And then lastly, or 2 more things real quick, you got to detox the body. How do you do that? Masterpiece. Masterpiece has 200 peer-reviewed published papers proving the nanobots, the nanodots of mercury, the aluminum, the snake venom peptides, all those toxic chemicals with glyphosate, the pesticides, the herbicides removed from the body. You give this 90 days, your 90 days, your temple's going to be changed forever. You can get that again at knn.world. At the very top, you just hit Masterpiece, and that'll take you to the website to sign up to be an affiliate where you can make 25%. And then the icing on the cake, IGF-1 derived from deer antler velvet. Why are they killing the chickens? The chickens laid eggs. The eggs have what? IGF-1. IGF-1 is the building block for life. Again, don't believe me. Ask Dr. Lee Merritt. Ask Judy Mikovits. Ask your own medical doctor, your own anti-aging specialist. They'll tell you if you want to stay young, if you want to slow down the aging process, you want to do synthetic HGH. Okay? Synthetic HGH, I can't afford. It's $4,000 a month. It's synthetic, so I won't have anything to do with it. And you have to inject your subcutaneous fat. When you do that, your liver transfers to what's called IGF-1, insulin-like growth factor. Dr. Martini has deer farms in New Zealand. His deer, their antlers are the fastest growing substance on planet Earth. They grow an inch a day. Why? Because the high concentration of IGF-1 on the tip of the antlers, he's been in a freeze-dried out, put into a lipo delivery system that his scientists invented that gives the body 98% absorption. This is unheard of. Everybody laughed, made fun of. The patent ran out 6 years ago, and now every supplement company in the world is using this lipo delivery system that gives 98% absorption. But finally, they have the clinical studies to prove that it increases your IGF-1 levels by 60%. 60%. And if you buy any of the 200 or above, you're going to get a men's edge. Right now, our men are a bunch of pansies because of the estrogen mimickers, all these toxic chemicals. Men need to be men again. This will increase your test levels by 40%. And if you buy any product, you'll get another product for free because we want to say, love you, thank you. Please take care of your temple. Love you guys. God bless. Never forget Crisis Key, crisiskey.life, and everything else at knn.world.
Thank you so much, Christopher. All right, everybody, listen, I need you to stop what you're doing. I need you to take a look at all these QR codes, and I need you to start scanning and start doing what it is you need to do. We are putting all the information out there. This is the time to act, guys. It's not playtime anymore. That's why I reached out to all our brave warriors. Christopher is one of the boots on the ground, getting arrested for us day after day. I'm going to leave you guys with Revelation 2:9. I know your works, oppression, and your poverty, but you are rich, and the blasphemy of those they say are Jews, and they are not, but are a synagogue of Satan. Guys, that's what we're battling right now, the synagogue of Satan. Okay, this is real. This whole thing with the war, it's not about land. It's about nothing more than offering now us to their gods, to their demons who are being woken up at this precise moment. The time to act is now. How do you act? Read the book of Revelation with your family. That's the guide to what's happening right now. Christopher, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, again, real quick, you are the resistance. You guys are the resistance. You have to comprehend that. You can't sit around and do nothing, okay? If you just share this with one person, one will turn to two, two will turn to four. Before you know it, 6.5 billion people around the world. Okay, it's not round, it's flat, but that's another story. It's not 8 billion. There's only 6.5, if even not lower, because they've already killed off 1.5. They built their infrastructure. They only need 500 million here. That means the rest of us have to be terminated. Go take action. The first way to take action is to take care of your temple. You can get all that information at knn.world. It's not CNN because we're not retards. It's KNN. It's not .com. It's .world. knn.world. Love you guys. God bless.
Thank you, Christopher.
That's Christopher Key, the vaccine police. We still need to support constitutionalconventions.ca so that they can get the word out and get constitutions out for everybody.
James Roguski, ChasquiMalkoChristopherKey, Hacker Fiscalia.
That's about it. For now, I think that's good. Follow the links and support whatever you can. Even if it's just a prayer you can send our way, go ahead and send it. So with that out of the way, Malko, why don't you let us know what you've been through and how we find ourselves in this hidden location.
Well, first it starts how I became a Chasqui. Hello, everyone. So, as a Canadian citizen, I was Polish Canadian, so I wanted to study in Peru. Linguistic and Culture of Altiplano, Canada say this is not recognizable. University is not accredited, so it doesn't exist, and the Aymara language is not recognized by Canada as existent, even though there's 3 million people that speaks Aymara. Canada won't recognize native languages. I went to Peru anyway, and then kind of pulled me out. 20 years I didn't have a passport Canadian. I had a national arrest in Canada. That was complicated. I was jumping borders first 7 years. Later on, I got my Polish passport, and I used my Polish passport in order to communicate and travel and continue my work. So I had some support from Mexico, and every now and then I was passing through Mexico, crossing the borders. Then the Anarchapulco happened. Every now and then I was coming in for assistance between anarchists and so on. Didn't find much yet, unfortunately. And this year, 2024, I had a police waiting for me on the highway, even with the police chief and everything, and many cars, over 7 cars there. And they pulled me out, robbed me completely. They didn't find my passport, so this is what they were looking for, and I got in trouble. And I really needed to get out from Mexico to target the entire situation. That's in short. So here I am in the United States over a month, and I want to look back of what really happened in Mexico. And I want those officials that were taking coimas, how you say, bribes. They offered me a bribe yet for 10,000 pesos. Make recording of it, and Embassy of Germany say that this is very dangerous. First on the phone, but then they denied it, and I don't prove to Germans that I was in danger in Mexico. So everything went sideways, as we say. So I just jumped the border to the United States and seek the refuge until I solve it. That's in short. So we have a court in Germany. Basically, the issue with Germany is that I have a child, and the child was born during the COVID times in Germany. We were in Mexico, but my partner wanted to have a child born in Germany, so we made a mistake of actually going there. And Children Aid appeared in my house just the next day. Right?
I'm sorry, it's the Jugendamt. How you pronounce it?
Jugendamt.
Jugendamt.
Yeah. So they appeared at my door, knocked it, and we had a normal conversation, I would say. But
That was the first mistake, is having a conversation.
They went. Next day, they drop nighttime. They drop a letter crossing the door, because you have to bus in order to get into the building. They drop an invitation, I denied the invitation, asked what is this all about. Then 2 days later, we got a stronger invitation. So I still say strongly I deny it. I'm not going. I just want to know what is this all about. And 2 weeks later, I had 26 charges where were completely false. That I was aggressive, things like that, right? And they were completely false, which is strange in Germany. Children's aid in Vietnam is allowed to lie. Like, it's official. Like, they can lie. So 26 charges were completely lie. So we're waiting for a month because child was in danger, and they set up appointment in 1 month. Like, if the child is in danger, they're supposed to take it in 24 hours less, right? So they set up appointment for in a month, and something like 2 weeks later, we had a visit yet at home of a woman that will be a representative of the best interest of the child, like a lawyer or representative of the child, right?
Guardian ad litem, we call him here.
For me?
Guardian ad litem. Guardian ad
Okay.
litem, they call him here.
I
But
didn't even know that term.
yeah, it's
So the woman, she insisted that she have to talk to our child before the court. She said, like, the child is only 2 weeks old. What you gonna talk about? But anyway, she enters, say hi, and then she sit down with me, and she explained to me that she's very disappointed that I'm a Polish origin person, and I don't understand that Germany doesn't care for the truth. I say, like, well, that's not true. 26 charges are not truth, right? It's a complete lie. Well, German courts don't care for it. They just follow the procedure, and it will take me years and years to fight them in the court. Child will be 18 years old, and I still will not win it. It will cost me thousands of euros, according to her, right? And I'm still not getting it that German courts are not interested in the truth. And I record that conversation as well, right? So those 2 recordings were key of me finding a judge, which I say, if the judge is not interested in truth, she's meaningless in this procedure, right? And I will challenge that in European court. So in essence, that was the way we won. And after winning, we came over to Acapulco again, talked to everybody that because of 26 charges that I had, plus 26 charges that my partner had, it's like 50, over 50 charges, all of them were false. I mean, paperwork falsified, signatures falsified, but we documented step by step everything. So we wanted to have a compensation, right? So even though we already won the child, the judge say, okay, the entire procedure cost $4,000. Even the court, like the final judge decision was not based on the truth, but yet, okay, Malko won, right? We were still not happy what she wrote because we made recording in the court. It was not what was happening. That is still a lie, but at least they left us alone, kind of. Okay, you won. You keep your child. Just first case in Germany in the last 26 years. And it's just unbelievable, right? So since we won, we said, like, okay, let's get some anarchs and people from Acapulco. Let's support me so I have like 3-4 months without of worrying for the rent. I get the laptop and I can sit down and prepare the case so we can sue the German government for doing those 50 illegal charges, right? But we didn't find the interest. All got politics in Acapulco, and I was tossed aside. Then the next year we came back, and the next year we came back, and all of it is just a documentary of how bad it can go. And very, very disappointing. Now, there are 50,000 children missing per year in Germany. I mean, it's just unbelievable that nobody does anything, and so little people cares about it. And since 1997, Canada took my passport away. I was put in a special program of make my life difficult. So for first 20 years, I was surviving and making my cases or whatever. Then the Germany got together with Canada and make my life very difficult in Germany. So we had to take a loan in order to go and talk to Rafael Abert, right? We had to pay the 4-year loan in order to talk to him first year, right? Then the second year, and it just accumulates in our poverty line that we were. It just all went sideways. And what is really noticeable here that people who does good work and wants to do something, they don't get support for some reason, right? I mean, you can have like a 5 million views on farting cat, but you have only 1,000 views of disappearing children, kind of thing, right? This is something we as anarchists or as activists, like, we should really look into it. We should have some kind of support.
I'm going to take a pause right there. Read this. While he reads that, to his point, anybody who tries to work for humanity is going to be attacked. We just got a message from ChasquiMalkoChristopherKey, one of the soldiers on the ground that we talked about. He's being persecuted. He's been chased out of Florida. It's ridiculously upsetting. The reason we got together in Acapulco is because it's a community of like-minded individuals who are anarchists, who are willing to do whatever it takes to save humanity. I figured I have so many people on my speed dial. I called the crypto vigilante. He mentioned Rafael Laverde. I called him at one point, and he came with me to a hospital to literally kick down doors when they were actually killing my uncle with the COVID-19 protocol, that remdesivir stuff. So if I could get the crypto vigilante, who has hundreds of thousands of followers, to come and aid me in kicking down doors at a hospital, I figured I'm sure I could get Chasqui Malko together with the crypto vigilante, and they could just say, hey, look, these are Malko's missions. Get the word out there, put a little QR code, and everybody could donate. How long ago was that? 3 years ago? 4 years ago? That's all I thought we needed to do.
Takes a long time. Not only crypto vigilante, but as well dollar vigilante.
Well, I don't know the dollar vigilante. I have the crypto vigilante on my speed dial from a bunch of missions we've done in the past. He actually saved my life one time. Long story. But I was on a rock face and I slid because it was mossy, and he actually did this shoulder smash into me and saved my life. So I owe him my life. But in this specific situation, I will say the crypto vigilante is not really following through with the Acapulco mindset, where let's be anarchists, but let's help the people who are helping humanity. Right now, that's Chasqui Malko. He needs your help. Right now, it's ChasquiMalkoChristopherKey. You read what he's...
Yes,
you read
it's amazing.
This is, and I'll let you explain it.
Yeah,
And right now, it's James Roguski, because everybody is convinced that we've stopped the amendments to the World Health Organization. That's not the case. They're still going forward. They're still going forward with their plans. They still have delegates from every single country representing you, saying that whatever they want to do is fine. And we're just sitting here relaxed, not worrying about a thing. Listen, guys, I need you all to step up. I need you to stop what you're doing. I need you to send. If you don't have money, send prayers. If you don't believe in God, send good vibrations. All right? If you have money, send money. If it's $1, send $1. If it's $1,000, send $1,000. But we need it right now. JamesRoguski.substack.com. ChasquiMalkoChristopherKey would be vaccine-police.com.
We should write this down on the video too.
It will be in the video, guys. And I'm going to put QR codes too. This is so sad. I'm just going to read the text that Christopher sent me. We were hoping to rendezvous with him today, but apparently he had to leave. Listen, this is ChasquiMalkoChristopherKey, Vaccine Police. I have a court order that I can't use the Alabama number. This is absurd, because this is how we send a lot of important communication to them, any longer to do any business. It has been appealed. This is my new number. Can't give you that. If you need any more pain in it. Okay, so one of the things Christopher does is he sends energy chips out of his own pocket. He sends you stem cell chips. He's trying to heal you. He will put you on his $1 million med bed for free. These are the kind of people we need to help, everybody. Okay, scan the QR code and send ChasquiMalkoChristopherKey whatever you can. Please. Please consider making donation at Give, Send, Go. Vaccine Police, the leader in freedom fundraising. I've got the site right here. I'll put this on a QR code. We've got a website as well. He says, love you and God bless. He's no longer in Florida. The government has closed him down. This is so sad. The government has fined me another $6 million. My case is in the Alabama Supreme Court right now. All right, guys, I'm going to get him together with our #1 attorney. In fact, that is Brandon Joe Williams. Many of you follow him. He's better known as OneStupidFuck.com. Brandon, we're going to need your help on this. Right now, guys, do what you can. We'll get back to Malko's story. I've just had to interrupt because he's absolutely right. If you're doing anything good for humanity, you're going to be
You're going to be targeted. You're going to be singled, and you're going to be living like ChasquiMalko. He's had to be evacuated by helicopter. He's been dragged into an embassy. I don't know how much of this stuff I can tell.
Everything.
He had his life beaten within inches of his life inside an embassy. He has been persecuted by governments. And unfortunately, when we think we've got him with Max Egan, for instance, like I said, we're trying to find people with platforms. Max Egan could have easily said, hey, here's Malko's story. This is what he's fighting against. Hey, guys, just,
Especially that he always talk about disappeared children like Jeff, right? Dollar Vigilante. But let's do something about it. Like, not only, hey, children disappearing in Hawaii, children disappearing in Germany. Let's do it. Let's just find the kids, kind of thing. We are hackers. We are, anarchists. Like, how many hackers are in Crypto Vigilante? I mean, think about it. I mean, we can take the system. I mean, we can do it, but somehow we are not ready yet. Not even to support me with the aeroplane ticket so I can do the job. Right.
All right. So if you've been following me for a while, if you have any needs, financial needs, you can always send real estate deals through my brokerage, through tripstocolombia.com. Just click there for referral fees. You download the paperwork, print it out, and give it to the brokers, and they'll send it. They'll send the entire commission. Nothing goes to my office. The entire commission will go to your nonprofit. If you don't know how to set it up, we walk you through how to set up your nonprofit. We're trying to do everything we can to help you guys out, but we need you guys to step up now. If you're watching this, thank you for watching. But now I'm going to be bold, and I'm going to ask you to act a little bit further. I'm going to ask you to actually dig into your pockets, see what you can send.
Buy me a coffee, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's whatever. I always joke, ChasquiMalko's salary is $1 per year.
And I was paid already 107 years.
So every dollar you can send, he's going to be appreciative. And believe me, he's going to put it to good use. I promise you that. Christopher Key, they just fined him another $6 million because he's out there trying to heal you and your loved ones. He's out there shutting down. I don't know how much of this. I don't want to say some words that are going to get this video banned.
We should interview him to that. Yeah.
Yeah. So we will get with Christopher Key. Unfortunately, I just got this news because we were planning on driving out 4 hours to see him, and he had to leave the state. This is sad. And James Roguski. James Roguski's on the front line, but he needs your help. JamesRoguski.substack.com. He's actually pouring through all these contracts, all of these documents. He's doing the work that you and I don't want to do and frankly aren't capable of doing. I mean, I read contracts as my job as a managing real estate broker. I can't even begin to come close to what James does with these things. So these are three of our foot soldiers. Yeah, we admire James like you have no idea.
This is a hero.
But guess what? He needs your help. Because if he doesn't have it, these messages go nowhere. Finally, constitutionalconventions.ca. Download the Constitution, modify it for your community, get rid of your sheriff, get rid of your mayor, put in people who actually care about serving the people and humanity. All right, let's get back to Malko's story.
Malko.com/sponsor you can mention too. Put it in writing there. Okay, go ahead.
No, your story.
Malko.com/sponsor. Yeah, ask questions.
You want me to ask questions?
Yeah,
Okay. Well, basically, we've been talking about how can we help. Let's say we're gonna get you some money. You're gonna go to Germany.
No, I'm not gonna appear right now in Germany. Okay, so either my tactic will be to do it from United States, go back to Mexico and do it from Mexico. But because Germans paid up a little bit to Mexicans police, now I have to get that commandante of that region that was present and was talking to me, which I have recording, and this is what Mexican police got afraid about because they didn't realize that I'm recording it, right? So I had this big talk and it's recorded. Now embassy say, well, it doesn't prove that you are in danger. Oh yes, it does if you have a commandante telling things that he said, right? Of police. So first, from outside, I have to fix that one. Either it's going to be government or it's going to be cartel. One of the two. We will see how far it will get, but I do have to solve that one. So the idea is now to sue German government, but I cannot appear in Germany until I solve it first level because you are legally allowed to lie in courts if you're government. It's just unbelievable. Like they can lie. It's like it's official. It's even on CNN, that information, right? So whatever I do right now, they will just make a whole bunch of lies, and it will stick as a truth in
Right.
Germany. So I have to do it maybe even as a from United States, right? Based on American Constitution and my freedom of speech, right? I have to say the truth. And America is under logo "In God We Trust." So,
But that also brings to light the fact that he's on a limited time constraint here in the United States.
I'm already a month here, so I have 2 months.
He has 2 months to get all of this stuff going, and I'm heading to Colombia to do some stuff. I'm going to be in
tonight. You're going tomorrow morning. Flying out,
and I will be literally some of the time I'll be in jungle where I cannot be contacted, reached. So, which is why this urgency, why we didn't try to set anything up. We just said, hey, put the camera up, let's get the video out, let's get people to help us because we need the help. The Mexico part, I know you had to flee there. How does it look as far as you going back?
Well, I'm connected, so I'm sure I'm gonna do it. Like I know people for over 20, almost 30 years there. I just have to put everything in its place, and it takes time.
Okay.
So,
in Canada,
the entire issue happened in Morelos province, right? So now elections passed. Now we're gonna target that one. The governor, let's see what his position is. Either he chooses the pathway of police support or ChasquiMalko support. He will have to make a choice. Once he made that choice, we will see how it goes from there. He could be my friend, he could be my enemy. Right? So there are 2 different tactics just starting from there. But the governor do have a power in order to have a look of what's happened in the police and make sure that the police doesn't touch me at that point. Right?
Okay.
And if not, we do it the other way. But there's always a way to do it. So I would prefer right now the way things are, stay in the United States for a while and start my court preparation for court in Germany. So I have 2 ways to do it. I can go to courts and I will win for compensation of the together 50 charges we have, right? But 26 mine, which completely false, is documented, right? So Susan have like crazy, my partner has a crazy stuff too, right? And then they falsify the hospital documents, everything, signatures and stuff. So we wanna do that. We expect between 3 and 4 million euros on that as a compensation. But before I will cash the check, government will force me to sign a confidentiality agreement. So then I cannot share that information anymore, right? The way I want to do it is make a class action suit, like get people together and then they just sue them in the name of all these children disappeared. Like start investigation, go through European Parliament even, and that takes resources. Like for example, James Rutkowski, like we are talking about, he did like excellent work. He sits there and do it in the very low profile, we can say, right? Because he could do a lot of more, like if he will have some money. Same with me. If I have to worry about the rent, if I have to worry about feeding my child and the partner and me, so it doesn't leave much space in order to prepare the court. So this is what we need: 2, 3, 4 months of basically secured money, so I can sit down on the computer and prepare of it. And most of the people that make documentaries about it, like you can see CNN, of like programs like that, if we contact those journalists who made that videos, they just delete the messages without of reading them. It's just unbelievable, one after another. Like when we start to have like the case in Germany, when they came before the courts, we wrote to the Polish embassy and the consulate, and it's like deleted. They don't even want to read it, right? So in order to pass the message, I mean, what we need is resources. That's very easy to comprehend. I just don't get it. Why people like Rafael Laverde doesn't get it. I mean,
well,
I don't get it. If you want to do something, that's the way to do it. Like, especially if I'm on a winning track.
the reason I mentioned the people with so much so large of a following like the crypto vigilante, as he just mentioned, Rafael Laverde. Again, all he would have to do is say, "Hey guys, click this link, help this person out."
Malko.com/sponsor.
It's that simple. It's that
simple.
easy. Let's change the mood here a little bit. You have in your possession a dog that belonged to the governor of Mexico.
Governor of Morelos.
The governor of Morelos,
Morelos
Mexico.
is a family dog. Actually, when we had an issue because like we came from Acapulco with the Jeep and police was after us and we were going back roads, only one gear because transmission in the Jeep was bad, automatic transmission, and it went bad. So we're driving side roads, which I sent you a video there. Panic embassy of Germany is not helping. They're sending dogs after us. And we had to go through the side, like trafficking roads and stuff like that, which I'm fortunate to know some of those. And I had the permissions to travel through because you get shot too if you don't. But they recognize my Chasqui position, so I was allowed to go through that road. And we made to the cousin of the governor because we were hiding from police, right? So we arrived to the cousin of the governor.
Protection.
Say, hey, we need the help. But the cousin say, I'm not in good relation. I'm actually very bad relation with the governor. Oh no. Okay, but the police was already like outside a couple hours later to figure out we're there, but they couldn't because that would be like it was a month before election, I think, or something, or a month and a half. Right? So it was a difficult time, so they start to call and things like this. But the dog was on the top of the roof. This is where the dog live. And so we decided to take the dog. And it was a little bit of mess with the dog, but we saved the dog from the Mexican sun living on the roof. So we got a double trouble, but it's all.
Always a story.
We can always solve this.
Always a story with ChasquiMalko. All right, so ideally, we get the support for Christopher Key, we get the support for James Roguski, we get the support for you. Where do you see us heading as a country? You see a light at the end of the tunnel.
Oh, yes.
You do?
Oh, yes.
How does that light look?
For example, there was a time in DDR in Germany, everybody mentally would say 4 out of 5 adults are police. Right? It was statistically like everybody was working for police. Everybody was telling on everybody you couldn't move. So there's no way to make a revolution. In Poland, for example, like I'm from Poland, born in Poland. My mother immigrated to Canada. Polish people as well, they were like psyched up that there's nothing you can do because of this socialism there, right? The Russians control everything and stuff. But then Walesa was not paid. 1 check, 2nd check, 3rd check, and then he made a solidarity movement. A couple years later, boom, we can switch the system. Same DDR could switch the system, right? So even now, like at this time, like it all looks desperate and stuff like this. If people get together, power to the people, we can switch the system. We just have to want it. Right?
Okay. So I'm going to shift gears here. This isn't something I ever talk about because it's way above. But if you guys have read my book, you kind of already know that we put together projects in the past. It was our coffer project.
Coffer project.
Yeah, the coffers, because obviously everything revolves around money. Without money, you can't make anything happen. So one way that I help with my broker's license, I have brokers here in Florida. I wasn't supposed to say where we are. Well, I have a brokerage in Florida, I have a brokerage in Illinois, and I have a brokerage in Colombia, South America. Don't take any funds. The deals come in. It doesn't matter where they come from as long as you set up a nonprofit. The entire commission will get sent to that organization. So that was coffer number 1. Coffer, do you want to talk about some of the coffers that we had with some of the missions?
We have a note somewhere there, right? I mean, it was like 4 years ago already. We're speaking to Rafael and people like in Acapulco.
We had a lot of people excited. We had pilots on board because that was when they were closing down borders. We actually had a lot. We had a lot of success with New Zealanders getting them to Colombia safely.
I was proposing that time for the coffer 250,000. We could get the land 7 hectares close to Acapulco where we need, right? And we can make out of it. I have 3 architects to make adobe houses. I wanted to make a pirate ship kind of house. where people can get together in transition time. Because right now in Mexico, like Jeff is talking, come to Mexico, but Jeff doesn't show people who came to Mexico. They have no transition point. They just go for a meeting. They pay this money to get in for VIP, right? Everything dissolves. They go away. But the people who stayed, they have no support. Some of them doesn't even speak Spanish. They don't know what to do, and they're really struggling on the streets, right? So with this for 250,000, we could have a many rooms for families. We can make a small businesses there, like for example, woodworking, bamboo kind of working, or stone working, and artesanias and stuff, right? In order to give us support, because people come from states and they're on the streets really. Like, I could shoot names of the people who spent 3-4 years there on the streets. Their papers went bad, everything went bad, and they have
Now you're
no means, right?
fugitives.
In order to get out from Mexico, they have to pay like a big fine. Some of them have like $5,000 that they don't have, so they're trapped in Mexico. They cannot get out even if they want to come back to States.
Right.
I met some that use coyotes to cross the border. I have videos with
that
them.
brings
like,
its own set of
crazy.
dangers on its own.
Yeah, like we could have like a really, really cultural place, 7 hectares there, and just get people together and just find solutions for particular issues of them, which are really, really simple.
Very
like
simple.
People like this needs a roof to stay, need an internet connection to fix the stuff, some kind of a computer there that we can have like a few computers set up, and
as an interim, that's
just,
perfect.
just few garbanzos or lentejas or whatever, a little bit of food daily, so they survive, because it's like crazy. I mean, I see like outside of Acapulco, behind there in the forest, there are actually people living there.
Right.
Like they're
Absolutely.
like jungle people now, because they have no place to go. I mean,
Correct.
and I would blame some of it, like a Jeff propaganda, that Jeff like invite them over. Come over to Mexico, everything will be solved. No, it's not.
Right.
I mean, there's like really, really crazy. So
So
I would like to set up a place where everybody can actually find support there, like a transition house kind of thing. And we really need that. But as well, and that cover idea, that was like what, 2020?
something, it was 4 years ago, yeah. So
Didn't
the
do it.
marriage, the way this was going to happen is that project, the Mexico stuff, was going to kind of have a synergistic relationship with the projects that we put together in Colombia. In Colombia, we've been able to, like I said, receive a lot of New Zealanders who were really, I don't want to, specific camps. There's certain words I don't want to say. Maybe I'll put it on screen. I'll say it now. I'll just bleep it out. Quarantine camps. They're actively fleeing from that. There are a lot of New Zealanders in Colombia in what we call invasiones, where we actually take land that's not being used and we teach them to build exactly what ChasquiMalko is talking about, although not so much the adobo. We use more the bamboo that we turn into esterilla, which is for floors and walls, and we use the sand from the riverbanks to do the concrete. But the reason I want to merge these two projects is because in order to get yourself a free home, let's say in Colombia, through one of these projects, you're going to commit to build 10 homes. And each one of those homes, you're going to bring 10 new people who are also going to participate in the program. So for each person who's going to get a house, we make 100 homes, okay? If we were to put that together with what ChasquiMalko is explaining to you, we could literally house everybody, because everybody's putting in their own work and the knowledge spreads. I mean, it's unbelievable how many different forms there are to create a home, a homestead.
And I've done those projects in Peru already. So it's easy, right? Like in the, for example, case of killings of shamans, I was in Canada on social assistance. I was getting like $242 a month. And I was able to have a camp of 3,600 people, like the shamans in Amazon. I mean, it's doable because everybody chips in, everybody wants to build up the community. The same thing I was thinking, like a 250,000, we get the land in Mexico, excavator, and the used one is like 25,000. Then the cement mixer that we mix the earth, the rest is volunteer. I mean, a little bit of gas, right? We buy a couple barrels of gas, petroleum, and just feed the machines and just build it. I mean, it's easy, but somehow our own energy is stopping us. Like
it's absolutely true. I believe we have gatekeepers. I believe there's controlled opposition who actually poses as the front line to get the help to where it's needed. That's not the case. I promise you, if you send Chasqui Malko $1, he's going to put that dollar to good use. He's not going to go out and buy a luxury car. I promise you. I've seen his vehicles. I've seen what Chasqui Malko drives. I've seen where he stays. You know, you see where he stays. He is not about himself. He's not about luxury for himself. I promise you that. If you send Chasqui Malko $10,000, he's not going to spend it on himself. He may buy a little bit of food, but he's not going to spend it on himself. He's going to put it to good use. And that I promise you.
And things we did up to now. I mean, I was able to get the papers from 27 universities in Peru, asking for support to support me. Right? You can.
The highest university in the land. You want to talk about
That's
that?
the altitude, right? Not the quality.
But he also proved that Peru does have a culture.
Well, that's easy to prove. But in Canada, I didn't defend. Actually, all the universities commissioned me to write up international proposal for accreditation of universities. So basically my mission is, which I failed yet, from the Canada, to establish that Peru has a culture. Because even right now, like for example, I'm able to meet with the generals in Peru and they say, we never got the money, while the Peruvian origin Canadian senator appointed by Trudeau is flying over to Peru saying, we give $3 billion this month, next month $3 billion, and next month nothing, next $3 billion. It's like $14 billion, where did it go? And see security and police, the general of police say, well, we didn't get any money. The military generals, we didn't get any money. It just doesn't go anywhere. Climate change, they say, like, come on.
But you
Right?
know where the money
I mean,
goes, Chasqui.
If the 11 million or billion would be, right? So thousands of millions. If 11,000 of $1 million are missing just in 1 year of Canadian support, used to be Canadian International Development, and they dissolved it and they make it the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I mean, that's why they were uncomfortable and they pulled my passport for 20 years. They thought they're going to keep me in Canada by giving me a national arrest. It didn't work. I mean, I can jump the borders. Like, I'm going to ignore that one because there's no reason for me to stay in Canada for 20 years while the government of Canada is sending my taxpayer money, you know, and it disappears.
They were trying to
where
silence
does
you.
it go?
Trying to silence you.
Right? Of course they tried to silence
So,
me.
and the reason they're trying to silence him is because aside from Malko being a boots on the ground soldier, he actually is connected. He's interconnected with. I'll give you a real quick example to make this story super short. There was was it a GoFundMe account that was set up to do some relief for a hurricane that came through? $400,000 that can be attributed to that campaign. We don't know what may have come in through crypto. So let's just talk about the $400,000. The people who were tasked to use those $400 to get supplies to the people who needed it were actually, I'll let you.
Actually, Danny, right, organized 5 drivers. Acapulco had this hurricane, so they were made advertising, oh yeah, we need for water, we need for supplies and stuff like that. In reality, military came and gave everybody water. Nobody needed water in 24 hours. Nobody need toilet paper. Nobody need anything, because as a government propaganda thing, like they really did it. Plus, most of the citizens got like, here would be from $1,000 to $5,000 each compensation for that hurricane. So Mexicans got kind of crazy. Oh, they left the city. That was another thing. But Jeff and everybody were making propaganda. Oh yeah, we're helping, send money. So, well, 400,000 over was sent through donations, but then they have drivers, and those drivers were driving from, they hire a driver from Cuernavaca, for example. Like, why, right? Okay, let's assume it. So the driver works for me for years. I know the drivers, right? So the driver make only 4 trips, wondering like where the money goes, because he only had like bottles of water and toilet paper.
I'll put pictures on the screen.
Yeah, you can't waste like $400,000 on toilet paper, because they can wipe themselves with the newspaper leaves or whatever it is, right? So I believe that the money was wasted. We could use this money, really do something, but we didn't. It just disappeared. That's my issue. Where did the money go? Right?
And that seems to be a repeating.
Danny, and I was challenging Rafael Verde. I mean, come on, guys. I mean, there's something doesn't connect here, right? with 400,000 we could really do something. But I'm sure, like, I'm challenging them to prove what did they do. I mean, oh, come on, they can come up with some kind of receipts, but you can put the message. That was only 5 trips they make. So the driver make 4 or 5 trips. I have to confirm, right? You can put the correction there, but between, right? And the driver itself say, I don't get it. Like, I just drove water. They're like, why? Because, you know, but what Danny didn't expect is that I know for free out of 5 drivers. So I just know them because I'm so connected in the place, right?
Yeah.
And the general of intelligence in Peru say, Malko, you have 100 times better intelligence service that we in Peru have it. And I go, like, because I using a Chasqui technique for the native, like you're familiar too because your origin is from Colombia, right? Chasquis are the special type of messengers. So they run from place to place, connect to the people. That's my job, right? That's why I get paid $1 to the Congress of Peru, and they paid me $107 back 20 years ago. So I paid up 107 years. Now it looks like a volunteer, but technically I'm being paid $1 a year for next 107 years. Since I started was 1997.
So yeah, the Chasqui messengers would relay messages 268 kilometers per day. And the cool thing is, the cool thing is though, those messages weren't just handed off on relay. Those messages were encrypted with 101010 exponents.
Called Kipu.
Kipu.
We could put that link in Wikipedia or something.
Yeah, and where we connected is I created Creation Source Software back 30 years ago, and it's an encryption software that is based off of just replacing certain letters with other characters and having the knowledge of 4 different languages, specific things in 4 different languages. So my encryption is ridiculously basic compared to what the Chasqui messengers just hundreds of years ago.
Before Inca Empire, some of the quipus that are found, if you believe carbon dating, and I don't, but officially they're over 8,000 years old. Some of the quipus, 8,000, right? They find them in Caral, for example. You can Google Caral, and some of the pyramids they find quipus that are dated 8,000.
Unbelievable. So that's a little bit of the history here. I promise you, anything you send to Chasqui Malko is going to get put to good use. And if you don't have anything to send, that's fine. Just send your prayers. We'll take that too. Any last words to close this little?
malko.com/sponsor.
malko.com/sponsor.
And if you can tap the back of Rafael Laverde and say, hey, Rafael, let's make this work, that would be cool because we are deviated here. We are divided for some reason.
We're not on the same page.
Not Max Egan, not Rafael. Like, they have no interest in this. Even Rafael told me, don't ask me for money. I mean, I'm asking Rafael to give me the platform of his. Tell his people, hey, Chasqui Malko exists. Let's do it. Let's save the children in Germany and other countries. Not only that, telling about the issue, oh, their children disappearing. Just do something about it. Same goes for Jeff in Acapulco, right? I mean, what's up with Jeff? So many years. I'm there. But we didn't speak yet.
Correct. And if you have anybody who also is an influencer or has a large following, please get this message to them. It's so simple just to spread the message.
Malko.com/Germany is kind of good page too to have a look of the case.
Okay. I'll put this up on the screens.
Thank you.
Guys for joining us. Chasqui Malko, as always, it's a pleasure.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you for your service. It's my pleasure.
You're always when you need it.
Glad to hear that.
Where you need it. It's amazing.
All right, brother. Let's save this world.
And James Rutkowski.
James Roguski, love you so hard. Christopher Key, I'm so sorry. I'm going to dig into the message you sent me.
Wow, this is a battle that we have to do. We have a really good timeline and organizing information. I admire this person.
Yeah, and sadly, everybody, we didn't win. Everybody's relaxed, thinking that the amendments that everything's taken care of. No, guys, we are in some serious trouble. JamesRoguski.substack.com. You have children, and your children are going to have children. You want them to have freedom. That's not what's happening now.
And genetic purity, right? It's changing our genetics like crazy.
Yeah, we're transhumans now.
Yeah.
All right, guys, thanks for joining us. I won't be
Thanks.
available for a couple months, but please spread, share, send the love, whatever you can do. Send money if that's what you got. We'll talk to you again soon. A brave warrior against human trafficking who was forced to flee Mexico due to threats against his life and family. I had publicly supported him in Acapulco, and soon after, he became a target of assassins from Germany acting in Mexico. These experiences have taught me the importance of being cautious and protecting those who are fighting for justice. That's why my death makes a celebration of the life and research and findings of the greats who were silenced. Too many to mention here, so Dr. Rashid Buttar, you are my ambassador to all the martyrs in this field.
This information that's being put out there, it's lies upon lies upon lies, and then people become really scared that if I say something, then everybody's going to look at me like I'm crazy. No, you are not crazy. Voice it. More people that voice it, the more people realize, oh, wait a second, I'm not alone. I want to have thousands of people in each city standing together in close proximity and showing that this is all BS. And if you guys still don't believe me, look at the certain other countries like Sweden. What's going on over there? And the misinformation, like in Italy, such a country that was hit so hard with COVID-19, but they're not reporting the truth that 99% of those people had comorbidities. The truth has to come out, because if we don't allow the truth to come out, in the next 2 weeks, they'll get their agenda going. We need to support anybody who is for pro-information, no censorship, no more on censorship. This mass movement is necessary right now. Let everybody know that it's time to stand up. The Constitution of the United States was not based upon a convenience factor that, hey guys, it's here, but when the shit hits the fan, excuse my language, then all of a sudden discard it and dispose of it because now it doesn't count. It is not based on convenience. It's based on everyday principle. It's based to protect us today, tomorrow, and in the future. And it doesn't matter if you're not a U.S. citizen, if you're not in the United States. The principles in the U.S. Constitution are applicable to every single person on the planet. So I don't care which country you're from. Everybody is in the same boat right now. It's this misinformation campaign from your own governmental leaders, whatever it is. There are certain governmental leaders that are good people that are trying to get the agenda out. Hold in your heart love and gratitude for being alive at this time in history, because 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 50 years from now, our children and our grandchildren will remember that our parents stood up to this tyranny, this atrocity that was committed against mankind. If they are allowed to continue the way they're going, and we've got only a short window, if they're allowed, we're all going to be chipped just like cattle, and we're all going to be forced to take vaccines. That for every law enforcement and military, retired or active duty, remember the oath that you took to protect and defend the U.S. Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Remember that word, domestic. Highlight that word, domestic. And remember that if you take off your uniform, you're just like somebody else. And remember, the orders that you're going to be given, they're going to be illegal orders, and it is a crime to follow an illegal order.
Your service to mankind triggered the resistance that enabled us to bring back the homeopathic and holistic approach to health. Your death was our Rubicon.